What's going on, everybody? This is Matt Does Fitness, and why did the boy close his eyes before he opened the refrigerator door? Because he didn't want to see the salad dressing. Strong moral compass. Now, assuming you've recovered from that breathtaking joke, let's get on with the video. Today, I am going to talk about something which I think is somewhat of a taboo in the powerlifting / bodybuilding world. And that topic is paused versus standard bench pressing. Now, when I talk about paused bench pressing, what I mean is bringing the bar down onto your chest, pausing for a second or so, and then come back up. When I say standard bench pressing, I mean the whole touch and go thing. So if you're doing 5 reps, it's just 1, 2, and so on. Yeah, so it's just literally a touch and you come back up again. Okay, now before I get into it, let me quickly just say, if you haven't seen it already, check out Jason Blaha, Juggernaut Fitness TV. His video from a couple of days ago on this topic, the whole paused and touch and go bench pressing debate. He made a very, very good video on this topic. I watched it, and this has kind of partly informed me as to what I should be doing. But yeah, check it out because he has some brilliant thoughts on this. He's obviously a very, very knowledgeable guy. Anyway, moving on. So, standard bench pressing versus paused bench pressing. Now, the reason I say it is somewhat of a taboo is that I believe a lot of people do, in fact I say the majority of people, particularly bodybuilders, do standard touch and go bench press when really they probably know deep down they should be doing paused bench press. The reason they do standard touch and go, and this applies to myself as well, is quite simply the whole ego thing, alright? Simply put, doing a standard touch and go bench press, you can push more weight than you can doing a paused bench press. So, and I include me in this, I include myself in this. You obviously think, obviously you want to be able to lift more weight. It's obviously better to lift more weight. It's more enjoyable. It sounds better when someone says how much can you bench press. If you say I can bench press 300 pounds, it sounds better to most people than saying I can pause bench press 280 pounds, because it's a bigger number and most people don't even know the difference. So therefore, saying you can bench press more sounds better. However, there are numerous benefits to doing a paused bench press over a standard bench press, and I'm going to run through these now. So, very quickly, if you are doing a bench press, presumably you are doing a bench press to develop your chest or other associated muscle groups, but predominantly your chest, or you're doing it to get stronger, to develop a stronger bench press. Now, going back to the first point, if you are doing bench press to get a better looking chest, you are going to get more chest engagement, you are going to get better results in terms of chest development if you do a pause. It is possible doing a touch and go that you don't get a huge amount of chest engagement. I include myself in this. It depends on the length of your limbs and other factors like that, physiological factors, but some people, and I include myself in this, don't get a huge amount of chest engagement from doing a standard flat bench press. And one of the reasons behind this is that doing the touch and go, you can kind of bounce it off your chest. So this initial part of the movement, when you're back here and your chest would ordinarily be engaged, is kind of bypassed because you get a bounce, okay? So you miss the first part of it. Obviously doing a pause bench, you have to hold it here and then you have to initiate the movement with your chest, which obviously puts it under greater stress and engages more muscle fibers and obviously leads to better chest development. Now, the next reason is that you are developing a more kind of broad strength curve. So again, if you go for a touch and go, you are bypassing this whole first part of the movement. It is negated by that bounce. Even if it's only just a touch, even if it isn't really a true bounce, the fact that you're coming down and straight up, you're not properly engaging your chest, so you are encouraging that weakness, that inherent weakness. If you come down, you pause, and then you initiate the movement, you develop the whole range of that strength curve. Obviously, if you want to get a real kind of bit of tension on this part of the movement, dumbbell press is going to be better, but obviously if you're looking at strictly at bench press, then you want to get a pause here to initiate the whole, for your chest to have to work really hard to move that barbell in the initial part of the movement. So to develop a better kind of a fuller strength curve, pause benching is definitely the way to go. And lastly, and most importantly for most people, and particularly in my case, is the relevance of pause benching. Now, I have recently got into powerlifting. I'm doing Wendler 531. If you've seen my stuff, I'm sure you know this because I don't stop going on about it. But obviously, looking to compete in the future, I will need to be able to do a pause bench. If I go to a competition, it's going to be a pause bench press. Now, if I don't do any pause bench pressing, if I do strictly a touch and go bench press, and when it comes to the competition, I'm going to be in for a big shock, and also I'm going to find it very hard to gauge where to come in at, because I won't have any experience in that field. So obviously, if you're going to be competing, if you are a powerlifter, you need to be doing your pause bench pressing. Now, you could do a combination of both, of touch and go and pause, but to be honest, you want to be looking at predominantly pause benching, possibly entirely pause benching, because otherwise you're not going to be prepared for your competitions, and also you won't have any idea, or you won't have a very specific idea of where you are going to be in terms of pause bench press strength, and so you're going to find it hard to choose your weight in your competition. Now, like I said, I include myself in this because since I started Wendler about 9 weeks ago, 10 weeks ago, I've been doing touch and go bench press. In fact, I've always done touch and go bench press. And initially that was because it didn't occur to me to do pause bench pressing, but now obviously I'm fully aware of pause bench pressing, and I know it's probably better for me, and I know it's important for me to do because I'm going to be competing. However, very simply, my ego has got in the way. I've wanted to lift, I've wanted to bench press more, I've been chasing 300 pounds. Now I've done that, I want to go a lot heavier, but obviously doing touch and go enables me to do that faster, especially at the moment, than a pause does. So I've thought, I'll forget about common sense and I'll just go for what I can lift more in. However, that is an idiotic approach, and I'm now going to change it as of today. So what I'm going to do, I've done 3 weeks of my second cycle of Wendler, so all my weights are going to go up anyway. What I will do in bench press is I will drop the weight slightly, so it is suited to a pause bench, and I will start doing pause bench press from here on in. So that means that every single rep I do in my bench press sessions in Wendler from now on will be with a pause. Even the 5 sets of 10, it will be every single rep, a pause, a pause, a pause. I'm going to get that drilled in. It's going to take a lot longer, but I'm going to get strong. I still want to hit a big bench press this year, but I'm going to do it the proper way, because otherwise I'm effectively cheating myself, because when it comes to a competition, I'm not going to know where I am, and I'm going to be in for a big shock when it comes to that pause bench press. Okay, so to conclude, I'm not telling you what to do. If you want to do touch and go bench press, by all means go for it. All I'm saying is that the pros of pause bench pressing far outweigh the pros of touch and go bench pressing. You get all of the benefits of touch and go, plus there are loads more. Okay, so like I said, you get a better chest engagement and chest development. You develop a fuller, more well-rounded strength curve, and you also prepare yourself for competition. If you are a powerlifter and you want to compete, then it is a no-brainer. Quite simply, you've got to do pause bench pressing. Like I said, you can do a bit of both, but I would recommend, and the route I'm going to take is I'm going to do pretty much entirely pause bench press, because like I said, that is going to set me up for competitions in the future. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me your thoughts on paused versus touch and go bench pressing. Also, on a very interesting related topic, if you know or you have any experience in the relationship between the two, so what a pause bench equates to in terms of a touch and go bench press, let me know how your two different formats compare. Like, comment, share, subscribe as always, and I will see you in my next video, which will be tomorrow.